Hello and welcome to Last Level Gamescast. My name's Jason. With me today is Phil. Say hi, Phil.
Hi.
That's Phil, everyone. You guys should know who Phil is by now.
Yeah.
Also with us today, as per usual, is Var. How's it going, Var?
It's alright.
It's alright. That's all. That's all I get.
Classic
Well,
bar.
if I raise the bar, then you'll have expectations that I won't meet.
Oh, whatever. I don't. So that's where you're wrong, because I never have expectations for you.
Exactly.
No.
It's not because it's always alright. There's other factors. Anywho,
He's my friend.
I am.
My friend.
I'm your
Stop using
bestest.
that word. Stop using that word.
BFFFFFFFL. Whatever.
Best friend.
There's a lot of
forward.
fucks in there. I don't know.
Oh.
No, not like that.
What?
Don't make this weird.
Oh, we're dropping bombs this time.
Don't make
All
this
right.
weird. Well, anyways, this is our podcast where we talk about video games and video game news and whatever's going on in the video game world. How you guys doing? Good?
Yeah.
Yeah? What you been playing? Who wants to go first?
Doing it. All right. I
I
played Uncharted 4. You guys might have heard of it. It's a game.
Never heard of it.
Never heard. Well, it's okay. It wasn't that great. I just, I don't know if it's just I'm anti the hype train that this game has gotten,
Yeah.
or maybe it's because of the hype train. But man, I don't see, like, it's not a bad game. That's not what I'm trying to say here. But like, the mechanics are meh at best.
Are they the same?
The shooting feels the same. It doesn't feel any better.
Okay.
Like, it still feels kind of clunky.
Yeah.
I noticed, like, aiming down sights just felt weird. So one thing modern, or a lot of, like, shooters I think are better is, like, you know how you can almost line up your shot before you aim down sights?
Yes.
I don't
Like, you'll point in that general direction
Yes.
and be, like, generally on target.
Okay, yeah.
You can't do that.
Oh,
like-
you have to aim?
Well, you go to line up to aim and you think you're ballpark and you're like way the fuck out in left field and it just takes that much longer to get on it. It's a cover-based system, so they still have issues there, which almost all cover-based systems do, where like you go over but you just stick to it, or you go to your next piece of cover and instead you just stand up.
Yeah. It's
And
user.
then,
Some would argue that's user error.
yeah, I don't doubt that.
Yeah.
But maybe they should make it easier to use. So, I would, and I don't want to give away spoilers,
Yeah. I haven't played it yet.
and I get people love the story, but it is the dumbest, as a married person, it is the dumbest fucking premise I've ever seen in my entire life.
All right.
And I'll leave it there, and when you play, maybe you get what I mean.
Yeah.
But as a married man, it's the dumbest fucking presents ever. Just. Bro, what have you been playing?
I've been all over the place.
It's okay.
I actually started playing Final Fantasy IV.
Wow.
All right. What brought you there?
Going back.
Needed an RPG.
You needed an RPG.
I did. I was doing the whole shooter thing. I needed an RPG.
But out of all of them, what made you land on 4?
It's the one I clicked on. I got nothing. I needed an RPG.
All right, fair.
What do you think of it? Do you like it?
It's all right. It makes me appreciate how pacing is nowadays.
Oh,
Yeah.
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 50 hours in and the intro credits.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah. I don't even. That's crazy. Now that you mention it, it all is coming back.
Yeah.
You
It's long.
Yeah.
In all
That's what she
fairness,
said. Sorry.
It is.
I just has to happen.
Apparently not for all of us.
in that time, in that era of games,
That's error.
Yeah.
you either made the game so crazy fucking hard that people didn't beat it, so they liked it, right?
Mhm.
Or you did exactly that. You just tried to make it as long as humanly possible.
Especially in RPG.
Yeah, just to give it value, perceived value.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's interesting.
I think games like that's, well, I don't know if they started my ADD with those kind of games, but it was definitely like even Final Fantasy VII. Like I would kind of run through dialogue because I didn't care. I just loved the action. There's some dialogue I listen to, you know what I mean? But game like what?
I don't think they had audio then.
No, but I'm saying like the
general.
text box. I'm talking
Okay.
about. I'm saying like games like that force you to like go through skip, like there was no cutscenes that you could skip, and the dialogue you kind of had to keep pressing X. Some had like where you press circle and it speeds through the whole dialogue. But
Or you hold it down and
Yeah.
it's just like,
Yep.
like
yeah, that was the best invention ever for that dealing with that.
Yep.
And
I
but
agree.
yeah, how's the combat system?
It's an old school.
Is it worth
Final Fantasy.
giving a try if you're into Final Fantasies?
Have you never?
I've never played 4. I never played
Oh.
anything before 7.
Yeah, I played 1 and 2,
Yeah.
and I never played 3 or 4.
Yeah.
You know,
It's worth it for what it's worth.
4 is good,
Yeah.
but you're playing it on the PC bar?
Yes.
Don't play it. Oh no, does it have the cheats?
No, not that I've seen.
Okay,
Do go on.
play it on a tablet instead. So I'm gonna tell you this, right? So I got Final Fantasy V for Android for my little Shield tablet, and it has like sped up battles. It has basically like a giant auto fight thing where you don't have to, when you're doing like grind through and all that kind of stuff.
It sims the fights.
It doesn't sim them, but it like instead of one meaningless crappy battle while grinding taking you literally like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, it's just like in auto attack straight through all your characters out. So it's way
It's like a simcast. They have that in 2K where you kind of
Right.
like watch what's going on, but you don't control it. It's just automatic.
right, and you could stop it if you want, like mid whatever. It sped it up and felt so much better than like having to sit there and grind for 3 hours. You can literally do it for like a half an hour. But there's also cheats through Steam. Through Steam, because it launches like its own launcher where you can get like
Yeah.
potions, skill, infinite levels or whatever, all the way.
I know the
level
later
10.
ones have that on
Yeah.
Steam too.
Yeah,
That's cool.
which I don't advocate those, but I
Really?
definitely loved. Yeah, I never cared for that part of it. I definitely loved the sped up battles though. Those I think made a hell of a difference.
Different play styles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it. Different perspectives. I don't really give a shit. But yeah, I've always been tempted to go back, but you know how I am with games in general.
Yeah.
I have trouble reaching
Well-
back in the past and
Well, you just find
Revisiting.
one game you love, and then you just keep buying it for like PS4.
it's only because I
PC.
was drunk. We've been through this. There was another factor. I always, that is like the biggest shame thing to see as far as icons go on your. Like I loaded up my dashboard for PS4. I'm like, why did I do that? Expansion and all.
Good. You should be shamed for that.
It's okay.
Jesus
That
Christ.
is what it is. I'll play it eventually. I probably won't.
Oh.
But what I am playing is Doom. And like I talked to you guys about it, Doom is a really refreshing shooter. I've never played the previous ones. Yeah, I know. So
Well-
in the span of 10 minutes, I just blew everyone's mind because I haven't played any of the Final Fantasies that apparently mattered before Final Fantasy mattered, and I've never played the Dooms. But this one I'm playing, and I love its pace. I love its it has very simplistic combat mechanics, but but they're really there's a lot of variation to what you can do. So like you don't aim down sights really. And it's just kind of like you're spraying, not praying and spraying, but you can aim certain weapons, but the shotgun's like you just fire at the hip, and it's awesome. Like just having to figure out what's going on in the battlefield,
Yeah.
and figuring out what your next move's gonna be. Okay, like there's a sorceress, and I know that she's gonna give me the most problems, so I have to chase her while like diverting my trying to get away from like the big brutes that are coming at you.
Yeah.
It's just a lot of fun, and I'm at the part where you're basically in hell now,
Okay.
and that's where shit just really gets real. So it like gave me a real appreciation for everything leading up to it, where it you can tell it's kind of like baiting you and feeding you like, okay, this is what it's going to feel like when there's a sorceress. This is what it's going to feel like when there's two brutes. Now, when you're in hell, it's like, okay, this is what it's going to feel like when you're in the home of all the things you're fighting.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what are you doing here? You know, so it's a lot of fun. And I'm enjoying it. It's really refreshing. I'm like, this is what shooters should be. Maybe not like the style, but I'm talking about the feeling of like, you know, it doesn't have to be mindless. Whereas like, you know, we talk about Call of Duties and stuff like that. I think a big part of that is it's kind of rinse, repeat.
Yeah.
For me, Doom isn't that. At least not yet. You know, so I haven't played the multiplayer yet, which a buddy of mine says he likes it a lot. It's simple. It's not nothing too crazy. But I'll get into it and see what it's like.
Did you play during the beta?
No.
Oh.
I had a code for it and I lost it because the beta took so long to come out.
I didn't like it.
No?
I did the multiplayer during the beta, and it was very it was almost like Halo.
Yeah, I saw it.
So-
I saw that even the people, like the way the suit
weird.
looks, it looks very Halo-esque.
But
But
then you like
I think it was before.
one rocket doesn't kill you, so it takes like if it's a direct hit, two of them will kill you. But like with the speed of the game, it's hard to get those direct hits. So like you're firing 4 or 5 rockets at one guy, and that just doesn't feel right. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's I don't know. It almost has like the Division problem, right? Where like it's almost too hard to kill stuff.
Yeah.
So, but
I'm sure
I
when
don't
I
know.
play it
The
though,
single-
I'm gonna, you know, be trolling people because I'm gonna be using a controller on PC. You know, so I told my buddy that, and he's just like, "Why do you do that?" I'm like, "Because I'm trying to start a movement."
No.
I would
start the anti-movement for that. That is the worst idea ever.
It's hard to get into keyboards, man.
No, it's not.
It is. I've tried.
No, it's not.
Yes,
I've tried.
Just use your keyboard like a real fucking gamer.
Yeah, I hate when people
You
say
have to
that.
do. It's like a real fucking gamer. Use your keyboard.
That's
I hate
not.
the setup there.
Yeah.
Step 1, do it.
Yeah, I don't understand.
That's not a.
Get good.
No.
Get good.
No.
Jesus Christ, fucking noobs.
Whatever.
Where's my
Controllers for
phone?
PC gamers. It's happening.
Steam
Nice.
tried that. It's doing really well.
What, the Steam controller?
Yeah.
He tried his own controller.
Yeah, it's doing so well that they're like, hey, people, how would you modify this? Here, take it, modify it.
Don't use it. Yeah. All right. Let's get into the news of the week. First off, some Destiny news.
Yay.
I guess.
I
I miss Destiny a lot. Like, you know, I was thinking about that when I saw this news. But basically, the news is that there's obviously a reboot coming, and there was a leaked expansion, I think it was a poster of the new expansion release that's going to come out in the fall. So that means that Destiny 2's obviously indefinitely going to be not in the fall. It's going to be you know, probably 2017. Probably fall, you know, like the fall lineup, which is interesting because I didn't think they were gonna do another one. I thought
straight up another one.
Yeah, like like an actual expansion. There was a lot of moving pieces in that in the company. I know that there's a new director, kind of overseeing the whole thing, and he did the what's the Wolves one called? The Wolves expansion. House of Wolves?
No. He did Taken King.
Taken King. Okay, yeah, he did. Yeah, yep.
He did Taken King. So
Which was fun.
So, it was great. That was the best expansion. It made Destiny what Destiny should have been year one, right?
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of conjecture I heard about this. I believe it was from Kotaku, where they're the ones that confirmed this leak. It's called Rise of the Iron. It's with Lord Saladin, who does the Iron Banner event in Destiny, the PvP event.
Yeah.
And Kotaku also heard word about him taking over, right? Taking over the maker of the Taken King. The problem with that is, if you think about it, if it's actually like a Destiny 2, the dude just took over like a month or two ago.
Yeah.
So will it make fall 2017?
Maybe not.
That was kind of some of the concern coming out, or at least leaking through that article, was this guy's taking it, and supposedly he scrapped a lot of what was there, because obviously Destiny before Taken King, like the biggest problem was there was no story, there's no lore, there was nothing that kind of kept you engaged, and he is credited as making the story and lore worth listening to and whatnot. So if he scrapped enough of it, is it even going to be fall 2017?
Maybe not. Hey, I'm not. If it means that they're gonna do more to like really fix some of the issues that Destiny 1 had, then I'm okay with it, because it's like I think the people playing Destiny still are the people that are gonna keep playing Destiny at this point, even with an expansion release in the fall. It's just they have a huge community that still plays it, and then they have people like us that will pop in maybe for the expansion and once in a while until Destiny 2 comes out.
Right.
So I'm hoping that this we can have a good release with Destiny 2. Destiny 1's release I didn't think was bad. I put a ton of time into it. We've talked about it.
Yeah.
But obviously a lot of people had issues with certain things. I didn't like the story. I thought it was very what everybody else said with it.
The original?
It was just the way that they framed the whole storyline. It just had too many holes.
Not even that. They pulled like what the Dark Souls does, where they're like read item descriptions and go online and read the Grimmer card, and then put that together with what this ghost on a fourth world told you in the middle of and it was like, I just want to know if I'm the good guy or not. Like realistically, you don't even know your position in this world. Yeah. Even now, after taking King, you think you're the good guys, but there's a lot of theories saying you're actually like the invading force.
To be perfectly honest, when you don't know if you're the good guy, you're generally not the good guy.
Right, exactly, and that's why there's a ton of theories being like, no, you're actually the invaders.
Yeah,
and like that they had finally beaten you back, and that this is you like making your way back from that brink. But whatever, fuck it. I'll play it again.
Yeah, definitely.
I haven't touched Destiny in probably a month and a half. But I love Taken King. I dumped probably, 40, 50 hours when that came out.
Yeah.
Into it.
It's good stuff. Moving on. Some Resident Evil news. So, Resident Evil 7 said, I think it's supposed to release this year. I'm seeing at least that it's, they're talking about that you're going to see it at E3. Mm-hmm. I think if you see it at E3, it's still not coming out this year.
So do I.
You don't? Yeah. Oh, I think it does.
I don't think it will. Unless, you know what I think? No, I was thinking about this. It wouldn't surprise me. So they're going back to its roots, right?
Yeah.
So they say.
That's what would you say? Sorry.
So they say.
Yeah. So there's no way that like they're gonna have a clean slate where they're just gonna start fresh. They're gonna incorporate a lot of things that I think are still gonna drive people crazy, because unless they completely change the story arc and they start fresh from there, it's all fucked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Or they just like start with a whole new group of people and then kind of relive.
Oh, they've been trying that.
I know, but like, you know what I mean? They relive those events in someone else's eyes.
So I think what's telling is they're releasing 654 remastered in that order, right? So I think that's actually going to be tied into how they reboot it. And I don't think they reboot at 1. I think they reboot to 4.
I wouldn't doubt that at all.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because they released 654, and then E3, they're like, this is number 7, and it's way more closer to 4. Because think about it, that's what everybody loved, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
1, 2, and 3 were almost too horror for some people, and then 4,
and the mechanics.
Right. Well, the fucking tank controls.
Yeah.
Get used to them.
And 4 was like enough to bridge that gap.
Yeah.
And I think that's why they're releasing it backwards.
Mm-hmm.
And I definitely think it comes out this year, because if you release 6, 5, and 4, you have to drop it this year. You have to drop it while you still have that momentum.
Yeah.
For all the discussion of they're going back to their roots, remember this is the same franchise as releasing the Umbrella Corps game, which is just a fast-paced shooter.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
In all fairness,
it's non-canon.
That game looks amazing.
No, it doesn't.
And I really like how you can stop the zombies with your backpack. And
because they have microchips inside of them, because they're robots.
Right. Do you think the reboot and going back to the roots is like literally one director there walked in, saw that game, what's it called?
Umbrella Corp.
Umbrella Corps.
Like they walked in, they saw Umbrella Corps, and like that was their breaking moment.
Yeah.
Where they said,
Oh yeah.
"We done."
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh God, we have to go back.
I
Yeah.
think it was just like any one of us watching the trailer for that game. So why are the zombies not trying to eat people's brains? Because of the backpack, you're fired.
Wait, our development, but you're fucking fired.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's creative, but you're an idiot. Yeah. It's gonna be interesting to see how it pans out. I mean,
I'm excited.
soon we're gonna do an E3 predictions, and obviously this might be a part of it. Yeah, but I think that's interesting. That's a good point where your Resident Evil 7 is gonna be close to Resident Evil 4, which is why they're releasing it that way. I didn't think of it like that. I just thought that they were trying to build up the hype by releasing the best one last. So that's the last thing in your memory. You're like, I gotta buy 7, and then you get 7, and you have a backpack.
that umbrella whatever is actually just the multiplayer in Resident Evil 7.
Oh.
That's good. All right. Up next, we're gonna talk some Xbox One news. So Kotaku has released some information about kind of Microsoft's direction with their consoles, and so it looks like this summer, we're gonna be getting a smaller Xbox One that has a 2 terabyte hard drive. It's gonna be slimmer, which is nice. I still haven't seen pictures of it though. I think me and Var were talking. We saw I think it was a concept art of it, but I don't think it was actual.
It looked pretty fleshed out, though.
Yeah, did it? Maybe it's not the same one I'm thinking of then, but
okay.
There's definitely not something that's out there all the time now yet.
Right.
And then they also announced that in 2017 there's going to be a newer version of the Xbox One, Xbox 1.5, with a more powerful GPU. That I'm told that they're aiming to have it be a little bit more powerful than.
Story sounds familiar.
than the PlayStation 4.5 or Neo as they call it. Phil.
Why do you do this to me?
Last episode, we had a little bit of a discussion about the direction of consoles.
Why?
And I know you were very upset with Sony. And you had every right to be, because they're trying to justify making you pay $400, $500 for a new console before the new release, because this was supposed to be a 10-year cycle.
Yeah.
How do you feel about this news?
I'm over it. I'm done with this shit. Listen, here's the deal.
PC for life? PC for life.
That's basically where I'm falling at this point. So this is how I feel. Like, seriously.
Yeah.
One, the dickhead came out after... Phil Spencer came out after the PS 4.5 news and was like, we're not going to do 1.5, and it's going to be a true upgrade, and blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
So, fuck him. Second of all, if it's a true upgrade, I won't be as mad. But I'm still mad. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I don't want an Xbox 1.5. I don't want a 4.5 PlayStation.
1.1.
Yeah, a 1. Honestly, that's what actually he makes it sound like, saying there's going to be incremental upgrades. It's going to be like a 1.1.
Yeah.
I have all the same exact objections I had with PlayStation 4.5, right? So what are you going to do? You're going to.
They didn't tell you that.
What?
They didn't tell you we're not going to do that.
Who, Sony?
Yeah.
Fair. I'll give you that. But that was still the norm.
It's still douchey.
It's still the norm.
Oh, it's douchey.
So they're
but...
breaking from the norm. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but I have all the same objections of, okay, so if you make a better console, but then you say the games, then you limit, like, how much better the games can be, I don't fucking care.
Yeah.
Now, if they flat out came out and was like, hey, so Xbox 2 is out, it's going to have its own games that the Xbox One can't run.
Yeah.
But will be fully backwards compatible. I'd be more okay with that than an Xbox 1.5 that can run Xbox One games. Xbox One can run the Xbox 1.5 games, and now we just limit what the Xbox 1.5 games can do.
Yeah, it's interesting I was thinking about this after we were discussing if we were going to put this on the news, but between Sony and Microsoft at this point, they've essentially, like we talked about before any of this stuff came out, like how console cycles have been going in general, like 7 to 10 years. They've effectively killed that.
Shot it
with
face.
these news. And the bigger thing that I think I'm like concerned for you, Phil, is that with them doing this, what is Nintendo gonna do?
I think it helps Nintendo.
Well, I hope so. I hope so.
So here's the thing that blows my mind is Xbox One and PS4 are selling like fucking crazy. Sony just dropped that they hit 40 million consoles.
Yeah, they did.
The Xbox One is over 20 million, which is still the fastest selling Xbox that they've ever had.
Yeah.
Okay? And the Wii U sucks. It's 10 million, 12 million, whatever. Nintendo has to launch this brand new console, right? That 9 out of 10 people are like, well, I don't care because I already have these consoles that work.
Yeah.
And then Sony and Microsoft said, well, you do, but we got new ones too. It's almost like you gave people an excuse to buy a Nintendo console again.
But you didn't.
Why?
Because you're not telling them that they have to buy these new consoles to play those games. Essentially, these consoles are still optional.
Right, but we don't know that about Xbox yet.
Okay.
Because we don't know if it's going to be incremental or backwards compatible. And you're right, with the 4.5, you're right.
Well, no, Phil. In the Kotaku article, it says Microsoft plans towards moving to an incremental model with more frequent hardware releases in games that will be forwards and backwards compatible.
So they want the same thing. Then they're fucking idiots.
Yeah.
That's even, to me, that's more reason to get a Nintendo console.
That hasn't proven itself in any way, shape, or form.
Oh, it's proved itself. You just don't like what's on it. So if you look at the exclusive games that's on Nintendo Wii U, and you look at the exclusive games that are on a PlayStation 4 or an Xbox One, Nintendo Wii U has released better and more exclusive games in its lifespan than Xbox One and PS4 have combined. And they're about to get thrown out, and you gotta for the new system.
I 100% get. I 100% get that, but I think that's
exclusive games.
Yeah, I think that's the thing that people.
It is from having a PC and having other systems. Then to me, it does limit it. Because the only reason I care about a console is because of an exclusive game. Only reason I care.
The reason I say that is because if PlayStation has an exclusive and Xbox has an exclusive, okay. But even what's not exclusive to PlayStation and is shared on Xbox, Nintendo's like essentially it's still an exclusive to two consoles.
Well, with
now.
the Wii U,
right?
Yeah.
No, I understand that, but what I'm saying is being able to afford a PC that doesn't hold water
because you can get the games
it's on the PC
essentially cheaper too.
Right.
Yeah.
So to me, the only thing that matters out of the consoles is their exclusive games.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. Call of Duty can come on the PC. All of those, because to me, this honestly makes me not want to buy. It turns that reason to own an Xbox or a PS4 into only for exclusives. Because that's it. That's the only reason I should do it. Because I can upgrade my PC. I can do all of that stuff. I can buy a better PC that will play games better for longer.
Yeah.
So that's my issue with it. That's why I don't like that thing. The reason I like a PS4 and an Xbox One right now is because I don't have to think about shit. I just turn the fucking thing on and it works. I don't worry about settings.
Runs kind of loud sometimes, but other than that, it works.
Yeah, my PS4.
Sounds like it's blowing a fucking horn the whole time it's running.
So you're not lonely.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Well,
You know, the other thing I saw another article. I don't remember where it's from. I'm sorry, but it was it was on NeoGAF, and it was talking about an interview with some chief technology guy in the video game market, and he was talking about that one of the biggest reasons for this push is for the VR. Because the PS4 that was at its state now could not smoothly run Morpheus, which I found interesting because nothing's changing for the people that own a PlayStation 4 now. So what changed, and how well is it going to run? I'm assuming they fixed it somewhere else, but he said that was a big reason for the push to get a Neo
Well, they were saying,
and I'm it's an abstraction what I'm saying. It's a summary of what he said, but
yeah, they were saying that breakout box is part of it. Because
okay.
remember
The thing you have to put up on your
for VR has that like extra box.
It's like a receiver or something, right?
It's something.
Yeah.
And they said that the Neo might not need that.
Oh, so it's built in. Okay.
So it's like a it's part of it, or because it's faster, it can do it. Another thing I actually read, to your point, it was so AMD makes these graphics cards for Xbox and PlayStation 4, and they actually just switched their process to make the chips smaller. So it was saying that like for Sony to buy the chips they need, they would have to enter an agreement to like AMD to make a custom assembly line for them instead of just being able to use what they already have to print off the chips. And they said that could have also been part of the reason that Sony moved away from that, because it would actually up their cost when generally like the technology gets cheaper as you go. It would have actually upped their cost. Still, fuck them.
Yeah.
Going down that road, fuck them. But it would have actually upped their cost.
Yeah.
What do you think though, Jay? Do you think is this the direction you want consoles to go?
I think at this point I want to see how it gets explained, because a lot of this is us finding out information, Sony not really saying what the price points are, what their plan is, other than like from other people. You know what I mean? We're getting it from they're getting it from sources and stuff like that. I want to hear how they kind of plan this, because you're right. Like I think a big part of it for me is like, now I'm married and I have to worry about, other things outside of just, me playing video games and stuff like that. Like I have bigger plans, and I don't want to be shelling out every two years to stay relevant a $300-$400 thing. I mean, it's a really, I'm very worried about that. Like it's concerning, because I agree that it's gonna piss me off if it's like $500, and I know it's gonna be $500, and I'm gonna be pissed off because I wasn't planning on buying another console for at least another 3 years, at least another 2 to 3 years,
or one drunk night.
Exactly. Buy the Batman limited edition. That wasn't me. That was Phil, actually. But I want to see what happens. I really want to see what happens with the Nintendo NX. Like this is a huge end of the year that we're coming into.
It
is.
And
E3 is going to be crazy. And the Nintendo press conference better have a lot of information, because
it's not going to have any.
What the fuck is the point then?
Did you not hear that? So Nintendo is doing no talk of the NX at the press conference.
So do you think it's coming out this year?
No, it's not. They already said that.
Oh, that's right. Yes,
coming out
you're
in
right.
March.
You're right.
They're going to have no talk about it, and they're only going to be showing Legend of Zelda. That's it. That's
which isn't coming out
till next year. Well, so what I think that, so I'm actually semi okay with it, because I think what they did is not even this year. I think like last year, a year and a half ago, and the reason we got Star Fox the way we did, is I think they were like, guys, Wii U failed. It failed. Nobody bought it. So we have a new console coming out, and I think they threw all their dev teams into that.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Instead of like, because does it fucking matter? They could have released a Mario, I don't know.
Usual suspect.
They could have released all their first-party games again this winter, and it wouldn't have made a difference.
Yeah.
So what's the point? You might as well let it die out and then introduce a new console to see what kind of, however they can go with it.
Yeah. The last thing for this, we're going to wrap up and move on. I just want to ask you guys this: do you think, do you feel that Sony forced Microsoft's hand? Like, do you think it was a situation where they really had no idea Sony was going to do this, or was it in the plans for both of them anyways? That like they knew they weren't going to go 5 years without an upgrade that wasn't just a hard drive. You know what I mean? Because we were all, I feel like the general consensus is that you were going to get a console for 7 years. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, maybe that wasn't fact, but it was what we really had with, I mean, aside from the Xbox Elite, which, and, the other overheating issues, but it just I wondered that, like, if this was kind of a okay, because the mere fact that they are deciding to put in a better GPU, a more powerful GPU, tells me that they're like, okay, no matter what, I want to be better. You know what I mean? Like, I want this to be the reason that people buy ours versus the other, you know, versus the Neo. So it's gonna be interesting. It really is. And once we find out more information, I will rage with you, Phil.
Well,
I will rage with you.
I think
because I know what it's like to have cheap games on PC now.
Yeah, it's
You know,
way
so-
different. Day one, $30. I'll take it. Like,
Yeah.
are you shitting me? What I think is funny, is GPU technology, except for the bump to the 1080 that just happened, but like GPU and CPUs are generally slowing down at the rate they're getting better.
Mm-hmm.
But now we're speeding console generations.
Yeah.
That I think is funny.
Yeah. Well, it just goes to show, like, you know, you brought it up a couple times. Like, by the time those release, they're so out of date,
Okay.
really. You know, so they have this kind of cushion where they're like, you know, I think we can throw something in there and not fuck everything up. But I feel bad for the developers because I wonder when they get this news and they're just like, wait, we have to make sure it works on both. Like, we don't know if we can certify that right away. You know?
And there's gonna be delays.
Yeah.
As much as people say there's not, there's gonna be.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. Next topic is Var Wonders. Var, why don't you fill us in on what we're discussing?
All right, so I found this article where a guy suggests that video game reviewers should not be good at video games per se.
Okay.
Mhm.
And the argument he gives is that if you are an elitist in any way, shape, or form, you are not presenting an accurate portrayal for someone entering that video game for the first time, which I would agree with. But I want to hear from you guys. When you, for one thing, do you care at all about a gamer's skill when they review games for you? And if you do, why?
Well, I'll start off. I don't care as much about their skill as about kind of two things. One is their ability to articulate like the pros and cons of a game. I think that's more important to me because you can do that and not be, the best Call of Duty player ever.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
The other thing I have that I get concerned with sometimes, and I think Phil feels the same way, and Var, you do too. I think you mentioned it, is when you get a reviewer that clearly has loved that franchise,
Yeah.
and you get worried that maybe it's a little bit of a bias, and you can
Well,
tell
sometimes that
in
helps.
their description.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Where it's like, all right, I don't know if this game's as good as they're making it sound because they love that franchise so much. I mean, Uncharted might be a good example of that more recently because, like what Phil was saying, like if you look at it as itself, maybe it just doesn't hold up, but it's just the nostalgia factor. It's just the fact that it is the last one that people just gave it, like it's like the fucking Stephen Curry argument with the MVP. It's basketball, I know, but that bothers the shit out of me.
Why? He's the greatest player that's ever
No,
lived.
he's not.
Oh.
But anyways, those are the two main things that I think are more important, is that you have to be able to like really do due diligence and be able to articulate a game to me, whether it's in video or text, mainly video because I get bored after reading text. I have to make sure that like there's not a real bias behind the game you're reviewing, because that sometimes I think it bothers me a little bit. If I know someone that loves Gears of War, then I know that I have to worry that they're making Gears of War out to be better than it is.
See, I
Well,
don't
it
think
works
that's,
in reverse.
yeah, I don't think that's a bad thing necessarily.
No, I think it's a bad thing.
I don't.
Well,
Yeah, I think it's a great thing for the franchises because for it to be a franchise, it's not the first iteration.
Right.
yeah,
So if I loved it
Yeah.
and I'm getting somebody who loved it telling me,
Yeah.
if you loved one, you'll love two. That's okay. But the problem with the bias on the other level is if I know somebody loves Gears of War and I hate Gears of War,
Yeah.
and he's not reviewing Gears of War, if he's reviewing another shooter
Yeah.
and he's either upping it or downscaling it because it's not what he wants, but it
Yeah.
could be what I love.
Yeah. But I think that's perfect because I think that with so much access and information and so much stuff out there, then I think you find you have this chance to find people who align with you. So a great example for me is I love listening to Kind of Funny podcasts, right? You guys know that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm never going to listen to Colin's recommendations for a video game. Like, fuck, when he tells me a game great, I know to just stay the fuck away from it, right?
Yeah.
Because we just have different interests in video games.
Yeah.
So if he rates a game or says how good a game is or this, that, or the other thing, I know that that's not a game for me, right? Or if he knocks a game that I like or a game that I think I might like, I know that I should be going to another source that more closely aligns with me. So to kind of put what you said is, I want the person who maybe loved Gears of War, right?
Yeah.
I would love their take on another shooter. Because maybe I feel the same way with the Gears of War.
Yeah.
So maybe I will not like that other game because of this. Do you know what I mean?
No, I know what you mean.
I think
Yeah.
a lot of it's just that trying to find someone, or because sites, you can't even do it with a whole site anymore.
No.
Because like everybody writes reviews and blah 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 blah.
Yes.
So like, just trying to find someone who likes kind of in line with what you're going at.
Yeah.
And then as they review games, that's why I actually like it when some of the reviewers on Kotaku is they'll play games they're not used to playing. And I actually like it because they're like, well, I never played this type of game, but I actually got sucked into it. That's actually how I played Civ 5. Because it was a reviewer who didn't play those type of games, liked some other games that I did, and I was like, fuck it, let me give it a shot. And actually really had fun with it.
Yeah, I got Civ 6 coming out.
You're all right, Phil.
Civ 6.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
The other aspect of this that I came back to thinking about is it important to you for a reviewer to beat a game before reviewing it?
Is it important for them to review?
To beat a game before reviewing it.
Yeah, I think...
Because just think about that for a moment. Like, I like really long RPGs.
Yeah.
And if somebody's telling me about how beautiful the first 50 hours are...
Yeah.
And hour 75 in, the game is broken.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Well, I
that
think
review is kind of pointless.
Yeah, there's something to that too, and I also think it's this type of game too, where like games that really have like they're not built for, like, I think maybe Call of Duty you could consider, because it has a campaign, but it's become less relevant, whereas the multiplayer is the thing to do, so that doesn't end, right?
Games like
so
Overwatch.
Right.
Yeah, or Titanfall, you know what I mean, where it's you can review it without being a completionist. I mean, you'd have to really, or even 100%ing a game, like trophy wise or achievements. I think there's something to that. But yeah, certain genres I think you have to see it through. Otherwise, how can you articulate like a plot line? Like,
like
it
a
lets you
Ratchet
down.
and Clank.
Yeah,
Ratchet and Clank, like
or Quantum Break.
I don't know how I'd feel if they didn't finish it.
Yeah, it depends on the genre.
I think I do. I think they need to, man, because it's tough because it's like, so if you get into a game, kind of like your example, what if it's like the opposite? So the first 10 hours suck and the last 10 hours are good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like your argument in that
too.
is Final Fantasy 13, I would say, because you say it gets better after the tutorial. I couldn't fucking do it. Like I was like, fuck this game. But I'm saying that's a good example.
Yes.
Yeah, I wonder if I don't know. I don't know.
Remember,
that's rough.
the nature of a review is give an idea of what the gameplay is like. You're not going to ruin the story.
Yeah.
Like, somebody could literally play the first 5 hours of a RPG and say the story's great.
Yeah.
The gameplay sucks.
You have no idea how it ended.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's tough.
A lot of those things you need skill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially to do it by a deadline.
Yeah. I will say to the original point about like people being good or bad at a video game, I think that if a player is too good at a video game, it almost like it can take away from the review.
Yeah, it's not the same game for you as it is for that person.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think again that's just it has to be that lines.
I'm ass, and it's I'm not gonna have the same experience as the guy who's a fucking or girl who's wrecking, and I'm just like I'm not sharing your enthusiasm about this game. My
Madden.
KD is minus
Madden.
600. What do you mean Madden?
Pick 6.
What?
You want me
That
to?
was
I'll
mine.
review Madden 17.
See, I
Or
can
is it
tell
17?
here where your linebacker was moving.
You shouldn't have done that. You shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I am really excited. Sidebar.
Completely different game.
Sidebar. Really excited about they're changing some defensive things that
Yeah.
I'm really happy that they're doing. Yeah, we're gonna talk about that at some point. That's gonna be my topic.
I don't like when sports games get more complex. I actually don't like it. 'Cause I don't care enough.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
I don't give a fuck enough for that.
I know.
That's
I'm
why
with you, buddy.
before the show, before I had to buy the show,
Yeah.
I never bought it. I always bought 2K.
You know something that you should do with the show. Oh, you don't play franchise, right?
That is, I play season. And
Season.
I play my player.
Well, if you get season and you get bored
Mm-hmm.
because it takes so long, change the presentation style to like speed or something like that. Where not broadcast, because when it's broadcast, it has like all kinds of cutscenes.
Yeah.
Without them, I finish a 9-inning game in like
Uh,
30 minutes.
I've never done it in a 9-inning game. I do my player like that. Like
Yeah.
there's no batter walk up.
Yeah.
Movie. I don't give a fuck.
It's just like you teleport.
Let swing and get out of here.
Yeah.
Kill a baby.
All right. So next topic, final topic. Games turning into movies. So we've kind of touched on this a little bit in previous podcasts, but I want to like really get into the crux of the discussion.
Crux
So
it.
what?
More of them.
Crux it.
Yeah. So Assassin's Creed released the movie coming out with Michael Fassbender, who's a good actor.
Yes.
They released a trailer. Phil, did you see it?
The trailer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Var, you saw it?
Yes.
Okay. So we all saw it. We're going to get into what you guys thought of it, but I did some research, and sticking to live action movies,
Oh.
not like, Angry Birds, because Angry Birds just released, it's doing relatively well. And I guess I counted Warcraft, Phil, just so you know, because it's live action. I have 5 movies here, really like 6, because I counted 2 twice. Mortal Kombat, which was one of my
Come on.
favorites. What?
That's not fair.
It was one of my favorites.
Why are we starting there?
So its Metacritic is a 58 out of 100.
Oh god.
That's actually a high for. That's a high. It goes down from here.
Boy, does it.
Resident Evil Extinction, which, if you guys are wondering, that's the one with the sand throughout the whole fucking thing. Pretty
Yes. The newer one.
much. I think so.
Yeah.
No, that's Afterlife. Extinction's the one with
Okay.
They
Claire.
were in the desert.
yes.
Yep.
That got a 41. Then the Tomb Raider 2 movie, the second Tomb Raider, in 03 got a 43. The 2 Hitmans, I counted those 2. Hitman, the one with Timothy Olyphant, which was the first one, got a 35. And then the newer one that came out last year that was supposed to be like way better got a 28. And
So-
Warcraft got a 32. Here's
Hold
the
on.
what?
Hold on.
What?
You were being really nice to Resident Evil.
Why?
Cause I just typed in Resident Evil on Metacritic,
Yeah.
and that's the highest rated Resident
I know.
Evil.
I didn't want to include that because if we'd be here all day if I included all of them.
I know. But they're
There's like
all
6 of
over.
them. Yeah, they are. They're pretty bad. But the crux of it is with the reviews as they are, like the general consensus that these movies are pretty bad. Do you feel like we should continue expecting games turning into movies? Franchises becoming movies. What do you think?
Expecting or wanting?
Is it okay? Wanting, is it good or bad that they continue to do this?
Var, you can start this one.
All right. So you went with the live action road.
I did.
I wouldn't. I would look at the whole thing, and one of my favorite
Yeah.
video game movie of all time is Advent Children.
Yeah, but that Metacritic's not good either. I looked that up.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'll pull it right now. It wasn't good.
It's like a 40, I
But-
think, or 50.
Yeah, I don't think it's a 50.
No, again, like these are general
Well,
reviews.
it's
Like
listed twice.
they're not the end all be all. Yeah, but it's
Oh,
still
no.
not good. Like it's
No,
good,
no,
but
no.
it's still
Here's
not
the
good.
thing, though.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, I think under the PSP, it's got like an 80 something. Don't know why. I guess because it's not looked upon as a movie.
Well, I don't know, but all right. I think there's an argument for, but you got to think too, because the reason I'm sticking to live action, and I want us to stick to live action for this, is because I think there's a little bit of a more seamless transition when you're expanding on characters that you can just draw and replicate, by drawing, and kind of replicate the storyline like that. It's a lot harder to envision a real person playing.
Yes.
And it's like Laura Croft and making that work.
That's
more important. Because that's how you get people outside of the niche that loves Final Fantasy to see it, because that's the end result of these. They wanted them to be blockbusters where everyone goes to see it.
Understandable.
Yeah.
Here's the thing. The problem I see with most of those is that they aren't thought out. They're just licensing properties. Like, okay, we got this character's name, and this happens in their world, and let's omit everything else. Yeah. Like the Tomb Raider movies were really just, Angelina Jolie can play this role.
Yeah, they're not bad. They're not bad. I'm sure if you watched them now, like you'd be like, why did I think this is okay?
33 and 43, Tomb Raider.
Nice. But that's what it is. Like, and to be perfectly honest, in playing those games,
it's upsetting.
Like with the new ones being the exception, those games were more action than story, and a movie is essentially just telling you a story.
Yeah, but with a lot of action. I mean,
optional. Yeah.
Yeah. But I think it depends on the franchise you're talking about too. You know what I mean?
The franchises you have.
Yeah.
The story of Mortal Kombat wasn't translated into the movie.
Yeah, it was terrible.
It was just taking the characters' properties.
Okay, I didn't know that had a story.
Yeah.
This guy looks like he could be
the story Johnny is Cage. Your soul is mine.
Yeah.
Exactly. Let's put Guru in for no reason.
Yeah. Just because he's scary and people know who he is.
Exactly. Yeah. You're omitting the actual essence of a game, or you're trying to create an essence that isn't there.
Yeah. Like Super Mario Brothers.
It's the problem.
Do you remember the Super Mario Brothers movie?
We all remember that.
I actually like that movie.
We got Mario, we got Luigi. Yeah, They're both Italian. We're done here.
Yeah. There's gonna be pasta at some point. They're both plumbers. It works.
It doesn't.
Jesus Christ.
Now, here's the whole thing. Is let's say you guys are creative directors, and they're saying you can have any franchise you want. Which franchise would you choose? What world would you want to be in? Like, which world would you want to make a game? Maybe not replicate a game itself, but be in that world and make a movie out of it. I think I know where Var's gonna go.
But here's the thing, and one of the reasons
I still say
I'm not talking about my actual pick.
Yeah.
That's to me why Advent Children was good, because it wasn't trying to replicate something you saw in a game. It was taking the game with very heavy story and kind of showing you like a what if after the game. Yeah,
but see that there's a problem there in of itself, is because you have to know stuff prior to that to understand it. So when we're talking about these big budget movies that they're trying to have mass appeal, they need to do like a quick intro because otherwise they're gonna be like, who the fuck is Liu Kang? Who the fuck is Cloud? You know what I mean? Like, and obviously I'm mixing right now. It's the Smash Brothers movie. But at the same time, see what I did there? At the same time, like that's a bigger problem in of itself when we talk about these big budgets. Because I think what Resident Evil did was interesting because they just blew it up after they got through the first one. They were just like, fuck it, you know what? Let's just
but the first
she's got superpowers, but she doesn't even exist in the video game franchise. Yeah, but it doesn't matter
until 7, baby.
It doesn't matter. And that'd be dope.
That'd be funny. That's the reboot.
But then that's action. That means it's all action. It's all action.
So I think
which favorite?
And I'm gonna use an analogy. I don't have a favorite. I don't even know what world I'd go into.
Really?
Why? What do you think would be my favorite?
Diablo.
Yeah, but that'd be the worst fucking movie.
It'd be
ever.
Warcraft.
Yeah, it's just apparently the worst fucking movie ever. So I think we're in like the phase of like when comic book movies weren't good. Where they're just like desperate to use that license and desperate to use that title
Yeah.
to sell the movie, but there's no thought of like, hey, we need to make this its own world. We need to make everybody care about it. We need to make it its own thing.
Yeah.
And because of that, you get shit.
It's a scatter shot.
Right.
Yeah.
And it's almost like comic book movies understood that, like, hey, guess what? We're not going to make the comic book fan happy, so let's stop trying. But video game movies haven't stopped trying yet.
Yeah.
Like, they still try to make that nerd happy, and when they do it, everybody else goes, well, that was fucking retarded.
Yeah.
Because
what was that about?
right, because the nerd isn't there enough. So I think we can get there, and I think there is a future I can see with good games. Because you know what? Warcraft could be a great fucking story.
Yeah.
Like, it really could have been. But, I mean, I don't know.
You got to see it.
It's like a 32 right now, 33.
You got to experience it, Phil. You're a Warcraft. You go back.
I am. Oh, I will watch
on a
it.
Cadillac.
That's not a
You got to do it.
I will watch it.
Yeah.
But like they I don't know, I think they can make good ones.
Yeah.
I just think they're in that phase where they don't truly understand how to iterate. So I'm going to say it. Last of Us, right? So everyone talks about how The Last of Us literally didn't need combat, right? Because they all talk about how it could have been a combat-free game.
Yeah.
Well, then it could just be a fucking movie.
Yeah.
So you could still you can have that dynamic in those people make a live action movie. I think just fine. Uncharted, I think you can make into a live action movie. It's called Indiana Jones.
Yeah.
So I think you can have. I think you can do it, but I think we just keep failing by making these comic book type movies.
Yeah, I agree. What about you, Var? Do you have one that you'd like one world, one franchise you'd like to enter? Just say it. We both know. I didn't know it wasn't that one.
I don't think you know what I'm gonna say.
I figured BioShock.
Can I guess Final Fantasy?
You totally knew what I was gonna say.
Yeah. I figured you want to be in that world.
Yes.
No.
Yes, and I think that's a good story that can be told.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really think that's one of, like, to me, it's the same, although people don't want to look at it that way, it has that same Last of Us feel.
Yeah.
If I didn't have to kill anybody in BioShock and just progress through that world and saw, like, it's a story of that world, that's fine with me. But if I were to make a movie with a video game franchise that I knew would sell good, I'd just make Halo.
Yeah, but I think even that they're proving that it's not working.
We'll see with Warcraft, right?
Yeah.
We'll see. And then the other problem is that was development hell and whatnot. But
yes.
See, I don't think BioShock would work as a movie. I don't think it would work because I think a lot of it was your like choices, what to do with the kid, and what to do like.
But that's a part of what you can do with a movie. That's exactly what you could.
They
do
can
with
make
a
it
movie.
one kid.
Well, they could make it one kid.
You know what I mean? Like,
or
end all
they
be
could
all.
they could completely eliminate the benefit of it and just put you in a situation where it's just like,
It's the Last
give
of
me a
Us.
reason.
The Last of Us.
Give me a reason that this man has to kill a child.
Yeah.
And if you make that plot work, you have a great movie.
I got one for you.
What?
Initially I was gonna be real geeky and say Knights of the Old Republic, like world.
Wow.
But I know
That
it's
was
the
a
Star
movie.
Wars in me. Yeah, I know. But the one I'd be interested in, I'd be intrigued by if they could pull it off. Just because I didn't really get into this game, but I was interested in like the aesthetic feel of it, the look of it, and like the style it had was Dishonored. I thought like if they can like delve into that assassin world, not Assassin's Creed, but
They do it? Right, I was going to say, are they doing that with Assassin's Creed?
well, yeah, but it's a difference. Like it's a completely because you could teleport. Like there's a lot more magic in it, and things like that. I just thought that'd be interesting to see. And I don't even like that game that much.
I really like Dishonored.
Yeah.
The only problem I had is
I didn't like the combat. I didn't like the combat at all.
well, I avoided the combat. I went stealth the whole way through.
Yeah.
But the only problem I have with that is, other than those game mechanics, what made it a game, the story is really bland. Like, the story is really predictable.
Dishonored.
Yeah.
Yeah. The story is really predictable and bland.
Yeah.
It
Well,
was the gameplay
again, they
that
wouldn't
made
be
it.
they wouldn't be repeating that story
Mhm.
because I think
No, I get you.
that's a problem. But I'm saying being in that world
Yes.
and having like they can run with it a little bit. But yeah,
Because I still know nothing about that deity.
yeah, I don't know.
The one you got
the
your
one you
powers
talk to,
from?
the one you talk to.
I beat that game.
Yeah.
He's just toying with the world.
Well, Dishonored too.
Mm.
I don't know. I don't know.
Well, let me ask you guys this: what did you think of that Assassin's Creed trailer? You think? All right, let's do over unders for this. Do you think it's gonna be over 32 or under?
Ah, man.
Oh, I hope this doesn't ruin it for Fassbender.
No, it won't. The Rock did Doom. The
I'm
Rock
gonna
did
say
Doom. Look
over
at
a
him.
32.
Yeah, I'll say over 32 too. Yeah.
I don't know.
Which
You
is
know what's
dangerous.
weird? It's clear that they looked at the concept that Assassin's Creed implemented with the Animus and said, we can't do that because that's the Matrix.
Yeah.
And they were like, okay, stick it in his ass and make him move around. That's exactly what they did. You know what I
watched
mean?
A different trailer from me.
No, I didn't.
No, that
Wait, you didn't
sounds
watch yours on
trailer.
Pornhub? Oh, that's
This
a different.
isn't Fallout 4.
I don't watch those trailers on Pornhub.
I did see this. This is funny. I did see that there's on my Twitter feed that there's a giant search, like running tally going for the Overwatch. People
Yeah.
are searching for Overwatch based porn
Already.
already.
It spiked and it was a big deal.
Yeah,
Now
that's
that you mention it.
good. And
But you remember what you heard what Overwatch had to do.
with what?
Yeah, they changed the button.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
That was stupid.
That is what it
That
is.
thing was stupid. Look, get video games. Man, we just need that director. We just need that one director to take it seriously and do it.
Yeah.
Or you need what essentially happened with comic book movies, and you need a studio that made the game to do it.
Maybe. We'll see.
Who made the?
Well, Marvel Studios.
Yes.
They don't count.
Kevin Feige counts.
No, that would be the same. I mean, I guess it.
Oh shit.
So are you saying you need like Sony to make an Uncharted, or like
You need the creative the
or-
creative
what's his
minds behind it.
Yes.
Naughty Dog.
Yeah.
Which one?
I would say
Well,
more Naughty Dog.
Yes, the creative director, the actual.
I don't know. I don't know that would work. I would think I'd rather see like an Abrams or what's that other guy?
He was the other guy in my head too, Abrams.
I think I'd rather see it because Abrams was able to bring back Star Trek,
I know he made it super
made it
relevant.
relevant again, and Star Wars. Was that him? Who was
Yeah,
that?
it was. Yeah, it was. He directed the first one. He's not directing any more of them.
No, but I think he's really good at
He was a huge Star Wars fan though, so
making
like
them
that's-
approachable.
yeah.
So I think what he's good at. And video game movies are not approachable.
Yeah.
And
You know what's
it'd be
funny?
awesome.
They make money.
Well, yeah.
I was more like mad about like the amount of money. I think it was not Mortal Kombat because it came out so long ago. It was one of the movies that was way up there as far as like gross sales and the budget it had. Because I looked at the IMDb like estimated budgets.
Yeah.
You know, I forget which one it was, but I was like shocked that it made so much. It was like his budget was like 40,000 and it did like 220,000. I was like, how? 220 million, 100 million. I'm sorry, 100 million. I was just like, what the fuck?
I remember being excited for first-person view in Doom, the movie.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah,
I remember being excited about that,
That's
and
good
it was
times.
terrible. All of
yeah.
it.
I watched that like I think it was high when I watched it in high school or something like that. Maybe not high school.
Not high school.
Yeah.
No, yeah, it would have been high
It
school.
would've been
2005.
around there. Yeah.
2005. So
Yeah. But
you would have been up in that
good
joint.
times.
No, they're not good times. That's what we're talking about.
Well, you know, live and learn.
Fuck.
And we'll
I
wrap
want
up.
to see a Marvel vs. Capcom movie.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Well, we'll end on that note.
It'll be in licensing hell.
You're done, VAR. You're done. All right. So that's been the Last Level Gamescast. Share what you think about video game movies and all these new consoles that are coming out. You know, the new generation's here already, so
Yay.
get ready for it. And we'll see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.